Hi folks, hope you are all doing well. I want to take a few moments to share a few things that God has put on my heart about the spaces that we create as a church. As we go into this year, and we've already been doing this to some extent, of course, some of this has been very much frustrated, I have to say, by the successive lockdowns and things like that. But I'm really excited as we come into this year to lean back into the idea of creating a multiplicity of different spaces that will allow for different kinds of encounter and development of our growth with God as a community and as a church. I have seen this in terms of greenhouses, of creating greenhouses for different kinds of things that we want to see growing up. We want a place where we can greenhouse our experience of worship as a church. We want a space where we can greenhouse the things of the Spirit, where we can greenhouse a sense of being still and creating space for God, where we can greenhouse, worship and teaching and all these other things. Now, it's not a one-size-fits-all. For some people, they will want to lean into one space. Other people want to lean into another space. I think the multiplicity is really important because we all need slightly different things to connect with God in our different journeys. However, it's really important in the midst of that we, as we lean into multiplicity, that we have a very vital focus on our unity as a church. We will all be in different places and spaces, but we're all on the one journey. And this is where our Sunday services has their role. Now, one of the important things here with doing lots of different things, it means that no one meeting is ever going to be everything. Not everyone has to be at every one of these other meetings. I think the one main time where we all come together is at our main Sunday services. And I think it's also important to realize that these services, they do have a very limited role. We're not trying to do everything in that space. I think there's probably been a time, maybe in the past, and perhaps some people feel this, that everything important that's got to happen has got to happen at those Sunday meetings. Well, we actually want to go deeper than that. We want to create spaces where we can focus on specific areas and go deeper, for example, into teaching, deeper into worship, deeper into ministry than we do on our Sundays. But this highlights the importance actually of Sundays themselves as the time where we, as it were, gather around the family table. And this is the way that I've sort of envisaged this. There's a sense of formality around our Sunday gatherings that's a little bit like a family meal because we're all gathering as a family. It's not just us as a family. We are an open family. So this is also the time where we invite visitors to come and be a part of our church life and join our family around the table. This is the time where we unite under a common sense of vision, or we unite around worship and the word. We're not trying to do everything in that space, but we are doing something really important in that act of unity. And it's because of that sense of gathering around the table together, sense of wanting to have visitors, of wanting to make people feel that they can invite their friends and family. This is why I like a family meal. Of course, there's always a sense at a family meal you put in a lot more thought and there's a bit more process, and so you set the table and you line up the knives and forks and can you please pass the salt, and so that's why there's this element of formality that I know for some people sort of frustrates them. They feel like there needs to be more spontaneity and we need to go deeper in this. Some people feel like we need to go deeper into the teaching. Some people feel like we need to go deeper into the worship, and we will do those other things in other contexts, but there's a specific role that these Sunday services have that's like that family meal. And this is the time where we, in a sense, we get to gather together and with visitors and inviting people in, and where we get to base ourselves on what God is calling us to through His Word, and where we get to address God in our worship, where we get to make a demonstration of our unity in God. And so I really encourage us all to lean into those spaces, but also to recognize that this is not the only space, that we will increasingly be opening up a number of different spaces. And I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited to see what will grow up in these various greenhouses, and I encourage you to lean into this because God has some really great things for us moving forward. Bless you.